So with that, it's Q&A. Wow.
How do you solve sample selection problems by people that will want to be, wait for the mic. Oh, sorry.
We're waiting for the mic for internet land.
What about the sample selection problem?
So it's a huge problem, and this is where a lot of current analytic groups, so you asked about sample selection. What that means is we have to have what's called a representative sample, a certain percentage of the population that lets us watch them. I know more about statistics than I ever wanted to learn about right now, by the way. But so we get this group of people that let us watch, and how do we select that so that it accurately represents the population? The simple answer is I don't. I let my customers tell me who they want to track. And then what that does is it solves a lot of my problems. Because once my customer buys off on it, they're not going to attack me with the problem. So the other thing that we do is we don't promise ubiquitous coverage. We severely limit our panel size and the content that we're tracking. So I don't have this ballooning issue. By restraining that, we cut down our operational costs. If somebody wants us to track all African Americans or all Latinos, it's an upsell. So, yeah. Maybe I didn't load enough into the deck.
What kind of companies What kind of companies are you targeting your sales towards? Or specific channels, industries?
So I don't know if anybody's read Clayton Christensen's Innovator Dilemma. He talks about the new core steel industry. The first industry he went after was rebar, because that was the most neglected, lowest margin industry. For us, it's local broadcasting. That means local advertisers, local broadcasters. The FCC made this really easy. One company can only own one major broadcaster in a market. I've got 5 guaranteed separate customers in every market. And I've got 4 guys that the current solution says are not number one. Damn straight, they're going to want something else out there to compete against that. So, and ad agencies.
So speaking as an ad agency, I guess I'm just trying to get my head around exactly your pricing model and whatnot, because I mean, one of the most difficult things to do with a lot of types of services is to get people to keep paying for it, right? And I imagine your data is potentially very difficult that way. So you say, okay, well, I want to know, you know, this is my target market, people who do this and do that and do this. What else do they do, right? Do you find, or do you project that it's going to be difficult for a company to say, okay, and I want to know how that changes next month and next month and next month and next month, or is that data really, does it really change that much, or does a company come to you and essentially buy that data once? And again, I'm speaking as an ad agency, right? So I'm dealing with one of my big clients that wants to target a product to a certain demographic, and they think they know some things about that demographic, but maybe we say, hey, well, you know, we can bring raw data into the picture, and we can tell you other things about that demographic. People that you know do X, Y, and Z, you may not realize they also do A, B, and C. They also consume these other medias, and here's some other places that we should target those individuals. I mean, I could see a big client paying for that once, but not ongoing. Do you perceive that as a problem at all?
So having sold into agencies, they're not my primary target, because agencies view everything as a pass-through billing, right? They're only going to buy what the client will pay for. So screw it, right? We'll bring on the broadcasters and the advertisers themselves, and the agencies will follow. Because what happens right now is the data is so expensive that the individual advertisers can't purchase it themselves. So that's kind of our approach to it. The other thing is we're not out to say it's either a zero-sum game, right? You can use our data to complement anything that you already have. Any solution that you're using right now, the data is so affordably priced because we have so much technology infused to it. We no longer have people reviewing the diaries, right? We don't have to have somebody physically read every diary and input that into what is a report. The other thing that's unique about it is our sample rate's so high. I can tell which commercial got watched more frequently, the first, middle, or last commercial in a pod break. So a lot of those questions start to get answered, and you get to intrinsic value. The other thing is it's a long tail subscription. You get below top 15 markets in the U.S. and you get diary analytics, which means twice a year you get pulled, and then the rest of your data is set on the national benchmark after that. So that's why we say local, because even though you're a diary market and you get pulled twice a year, we're constantly polling and we know what's going on. Does that answer your question? So agencies are a tricky sell because they're always going to do what the consumer wants. So we go elsewhere. Okay, thanks.